What is the craziest story that a suspect or a victim told you that actually turned out to be true? I've been a cop for over a decade, and I've heard my fair share of wild stories. Most of the time, the crazier it sounds, the more likely it's made up. But this one was absolutely bonkers, and every word turned out to be true. We got a call from a young woman, early 20s, lived alone in an old two-story house just outside of town. She sounded shaken, paranoid, kept whispering on the phone, claimed someone was in her house, not breaking in, not outside, in her house. Said she could hear breathing through the walls at night, footsteps in the attic, items moving when she wasn't looking. But there were no signs of forced entry. Now, this kind of thing usually ends up being a mouse in the wall or someone skipping their meds. But something in her voice, you could tell she really believed she was in danger. We did a sweep of the house. Nothing. Her doors were locked. Windows were intact. We checked the attic, empty, other than some old boxes. Told her to call us if it happened again and left, thinking that was the end of it. 2 days later, she calls again. This time she's in tears, says she saw him, a face peeking through the air vent above her bed at 2 in the morning. Now I'm thinking maybe someone's playing a twisted prank, or she's hallucinating, but we send a unit. I go myself, and again, nothing obvious. But then I noticed something. One of the air vents looked newer than the others, like it had been taken off and put back recently. I got up on a chair and unscrewed it. Behind the vent wasn't just ductwork. There was space, too much space. We ended up tearing into the wall with permission. Behind the vent was a small crawl cavity, and inside that cavity, we found a sleeping bag, a backpack, fast food wrappers, a flashlight, and a notebook. Someone had been living in there. The woman broke down when we told her. She hadn't imagined it. Turns out it was a guy she had briefly dated months ago. She broke it off after a few weird vibes, and he disappeared. Except he didn't really disappear. He had managed to sneak into her house one day while she was at work and found access through the attic to a hidden space between the walls. He'd been living there for weeks, watching her, taking food when she left, writing in his notebook. The guy had a background, too. Previous charges for stalking and trespassing in another state. We caught him later that night when he came back while the house was under surveillance. He was carrying a small knife and a roll of duct tape. I'll never forget the look on her face when she realized she hadn't lost her mind. That gut feeling she had, the one that everyone, including herself, was dismissing, turned out to be the only thing that saved her. So yeah, sometimes the craziest story a victim tells you isn't crazy at all. It's just true.